Good evening. Welcome to the highlights of the opening test match of the series at Lord's, England against India. Very chilly morning here at the home of cricket when the two skippers walked out to toss. Kapil Dev won the toss and put England into bat. These were the two teams declared when the skippers were out in the centre. England left out Greg Thomas from their nominated 12, and India went in with the same side as was named in the morning press. The umpires for the game, Ken Palmer and David Shepherd. And Kapil Dev, in putting England into bat, must have hoped that the conditions would allow for some movement off the seam and a certain amount of swing as well. There's quite a gusty breeze blowing across the ground. Well, the pitch was straw-coloured. It didn't look to me as though there was going to be any great movement off it. It may have been a psychological approach from the Indian skipper. We pick up play now in the very first over. It's the fifth ball, just one run on the board for England. Kapil Dev, the Indian captain, is coming into bowl, and Tim Robinson is taking strike. Oh, must be very, very close.
Robinson playing no stroke there. And if he does that, it doesn't matter whether he gets his pad outside off. The only criteria is whether the ball's hitting the wicket.
Quite a battle for the wicket-keeping spot in the Indian side. I watched Kieran Moray in Australia. He's a very, very efficient young keeper and can bat as well. Roger Binney, the man who turns his back foot towards the side screen at his own end in delivery stride, about to bowl the second over. No ball call. Ravi Shastri is there chasing from mid-on. Three to Gooch and a no ball call. Kapil Dev to Robinson. That's a fine shot from Robinson. Very ambitious delivery from Kapil Dev. Perhaps just to see how much bounce there really is in this pitch. It's going to beat Maninder Singh. Nicely timed.
Another nicely balanced and timed stroke, just flick of the wrists, off the legs, and beating Singh on the long leg boundary. So despite all the water on this outfield, it seems to be running pretty quick.
Oh, if it hit, and Kapil knows if he'd hit the stumps then Robinson would have gone.
Yes, Gooch is pushing it and setting off for the run, but then deciding, but by that time he had Tim Robinson in full flight, and no doubt about it, well out if the ball had hit the stumps.
Roger Binney, who I thought was having a little bit of trouble there with his delivery stride and run up, has moved out of the attack. Chetan Sharma comes in, lively medium pace.
Confident shout. Mood of disapproval from Gooch, and Chetan Sharma sent on his way.
Yes, Graham Gooch getting just outside the line there. The ball just running back down the hill, and no doubt about it, just outside the line of the off stump. But Graham Gooch has had a little bit of a problem. He's been working hard. He's been falling over a little bit too much to the offside, and I think that comes a little bit from having had four quick bowlers blasting at you all winter.
Change of bowling at the nursery end. Kapil Dev takes himself off after 7 overs and recalls Roger Binney. Oh, brilliant stop. Maninder Singh, who is left-handed, dives to his right and makes a brilliant stop.
Yes, Tim Robinson not punching the ball, but he timed it very well, and it was going pretty quick, and a fine stop indeed there.
Chetan Sharma to Robinson. Oh, well bowled. Chetan Sharma that extra bit of nip off the pitch. And Tim Robinson there, just beaten for pace, never got quite in line. That's a better shot. If not a greatly confident partnership, it's been very effective. 50 up in 109 balls. Beautifully timed. Up the hill and away. 4 runs to Tim Robinson.
Yes, Robinson's speciality, this. Pitched perfectly for him. Leg stump half volley. He's waited for it. He hasn't fallen over. He's let it come on to him and flicked it away. Beautiful timing.
Maninder Singh, left arm orthodox spinner around the wickets as a rule.
And the shout goes up and Robinson is gone. Maninder Singh has struck the first one down for 66. India had to wait a long time for it. And it was the left arm spinner drifting the ball in the air, going down the hill and then finding the edge and the pad.
Yes, you've got the wind blowing down the hill, the slope, so the ball's going to run into the right-hander. Tim Robinson pushing through this, and probably if he'd just waited, it would probably been right. It could even have hit the pad first and caught the bat on the way back there. Tim Robinson never really in complete touch there. Been working pretty hard at his technique since he came back from the West Indies, and he hasn't got it quite sorted out yet, and had to struggle a little bit for his runs this morning.
Difficult to know. I had the impression it hit pad first and then bat, but seeing it on the replay there, perhaps it looks as though it came inside edge onto pad. What a lovely start.
Well, a pretty lazy looking shot, but that certainly sped away through the covers. Beautifully timed. You certainly can't play the first ball much better than that.
Kapil Dev, having had a couple of overs at Gooch and Gar, just about the whole of last over against Gar, he's now brought on the other spinner, Ravi Shastri. Two delightful strokes from Gar this morning. The one from the first ball he received, that one was no less brilliant and elegant.
Yes, this time it was off the back foot. It came forward first and then went back and just cracked it through the covers.
The 2 more overs were bowled up to the luncheon interval, both of them maidens, and that took England in at the interval with a score of 81 for 1. Robinson 35 before he was caught by Azharuddin off Maninder Singh, and Gooch 24 with Gower on 13, and most uncharacteristic innings from Graham Gooch. He wasn't timing the ball all that well all the time, but he made certain he was there at the luncheon interval, and I reckon that is exactly what David Gower would want from him. I think he must have set himself to play a very long innings. We pick up play now after the interval in the 3rd over. 5 runs have been added, and it's Maninder Singh coming in to bowl to Graham Gooch. A great shot from the quicker ball. Gooch was onto it very quickly.
Yes, Maninder Singh just brought it a little bit wider off stump to allow for that drift, and it did drift, but a little bit full, and Graham Gooch probably got his foot down the wicket and the full follow-through.
Still to come in the England batting lineup. Well, Mike Gadding's in next, or so he is on the scorecard, and looks as though he's wearing pads as well, so we can take it that he's going to be the number 4 unless something extraordinary happens. Well, I hope he's waving as happily when he comes back off the field. Chetan Sharma is to come in now from the nursery end. Second wicket, this time Chetan Sharma. David Gower has gone after looking in very, very good touch in that pre-lunch period. Well, that's a blow for England. Gower out for 18. And England now 92 for 2.
Again, it's a little bit lazy, that shot. It's an up shot, but a bit disappointed to get out to that. Probably it was short enough to hit off the back foot on the offside, and probably not really the pull shot.
And Mike Gatting about to face his first ball.
Well, Mike Gatting being greeted with a shout for LBW. He didn't really get forward. He got caught a little bit half and half, and just managed to get outside the line of the off stump at the finish.
Well, that's more conclusive than the first one. That's Castleton with the utmost finality. By getting out without scoring, and suddenly England 92 for 3.
And not a bad delivery, this. In fact, it nipped back up the hill, which is always a good thing to do at Lords. It gets the batsman playing outside the line. And on this occasion, it went through bat and pad. Mike Gatting just a little bit late in getting his leg there, and that allowed the ball to go between bat and pad. You can see it just squeezing through there and doing a fine demolition job on that off stump.
And here's Chetan Sharma.
Well, that was almost like an action replay. Very, very similar delivery to the last two.
Kapil Dev will know plenty about Alan Lamb because they're teammates for some time. Extra man going in at square leg. Off the mark with a handsome stroke.
A fine stroke there by Alan Lamb to finish the over off, but pretty good over there, and good captaincy there by Kapil Dev. He realised that although the slope's against Sharma and the wind's against him, he has been making that ball come back up the hill, and he was quick to strike. He realised that although the slope's against Sharma and the wind's against him, he has been making that ball come back up the hill, and he was quick to strengthen the leg side field, but just over pitching on the last delivery, and Alan Lamb dispatched it pretty straight for 4.
He got 2 forward, but wasn't far away from another disaster for England.
A little bit of fortune there for Alan Lamb. You can see the ball nipping back just a little bit. Bat not quite straight, inside edge, and just scraping past that leg stump. And that would have been a disaster there for England.
Got him. Well caught. There was a sharp chance. Brilliantly taken there at short leg. Chris Rakand has been in there. He's brought in by Kapil Dev. Excellent captaincy, with Chetan Sharma bringing the ball up the hill. And it's 98 for 4. That was a good piece of cricket. Maninder Singh, and he's bowling to Pringle. Up. 4 wickets down.
Things have really worked out for Kapil Dev here, because he used Chetan Sharma after lunch for his 3 wickets, keeping himself back. Well, now he can come on, and of course he's the best bowler in the side. And moving it again, nearly nipping it through. So he can really put some further pressure on the England batsman, and he's keeping Graham Gooch quiet. Just nipped into him, inside edge.
Confident shout. No thank you, says umpire Palmer.
Well, once again, the ball right down the slot, on the length. Graham Gooch, who's been falling over a little bit. You see his head over there.
Shastri from the pavilion end.
Ah, yes. Welcome fall. Life is suddenly better.
Yes, that'll give Graham Gooch a little bit of confidence. He's not had too much to smile at out there this morning, but that will help a little.
Kapildev to Pringle. Yes. And Maninder Singh beaten by the slope. Appears to be looking for something under the front seat. Roger Binney to resume the bowling at the nursery end. Not where he meant it, but it's along the ground and it's 4 runs.
Yeah, Graham Gooch launching himself at this, but again, not quite getting far enough forward with that front foot.
To be fair to him, maybe this is how you always bat. Your wife's given birth to twin daughters the day before. Well, he has certainly fated them, because Graham Gooch has reached his half-century, and this must be described as an innings of patience.
Kapildev been having quite a chat there, trying to decide on field placings. Is there any change they could make to attack Gooch? Beautiful stroke. That's superb timing, and he knew exactly where he wanted to hit it. Just a little short arm jab. Once again, good sharp fielding and excellent running between the wickets for Graham Gooch. So Robinson, Gatting and Lamb. 5 more runs added before the tea interval to take England along to 156 for 4. Gooch unbeaten, still on 63. He added 39 between lunch and tea, a little better than in the pre-lunch period, and Derek Pringle is not out 19. So England struggling away there. The Indian attack was very, very good, tight and accurate, and I thought Kapildev's field placings were top class. Here now is the first over after the tea interval. 4 runs have been added. Kapildev, the Indian skipper, is the bowler. Derek Pringle is taking strike.
That's racing away down the hill to the mound stand. Pringle's played strongly to the leg side today. Chetan Sharma to Gooch. Fine shot. Just behind square on the onside. Crack of the bat.
And Graham Gooch starting to time the ball, starting to position himself better, and middled that one for 4.
Positive play by Graham Gooch. Now, earlier in the day, he did hit a 6 over mid-wicket off Ravi Shastri, but I would guess that that's the second positive attempt to dominate the bowling by Graham Gooch in this innings of 76.
Yes, the chassis down the wicket, as it's called. Left, right, left with the feet. Very neatly done, good swing of the bat.
Quicker ball and quicker bat.
Yes, and bar those 2 4s in the last over, he would have been bowling at about just 1 and over. Some really wonderful bowling from such a young left armour.
And that's the way to play the cover drive. One of the great sights, worth turning out to see.
Yes, well, this was vintage Gooch. Foot going a little bit farther and a beautiful follow through and no bother to run for that. That really sped away to the extra cover boundary.
And that is the 100 partnership between Graham Gooch and Derek Pringle. And the great merit of it is that the runs have not come easily. They've had to be patient. They both soldiered through in different patches of form. But that constitutes a very important recovery as far as England is concerned. 199 for 4.
Fumble away down there at deep fine leg. Up comes the 200 and Derek Pringle goes on to 36, the 200 in 485 balls.
Because that's the problem if you bowl over the wicket. You want that sweep man who's just behind square, you want him really 20 yards finer.
Well, you saw Graham Fowler run out with Mike Gatting in the one-dayer. Just have a look at this. Pringle plays the drive. Now watch Gooch and then watch both of them. They're not just playing for England, they play for Essex as well. 96 not out for Graham Gooch. A very fine innings, completely out of character from the Gooch we know, but very valuable. In fact, an innings of great character. No matter how experienced you are, there are always a few butterflies in the stomach when you're that close to a century. Little nervous twitches start coming around, you start pacing.
Side edge, just going past the leg stump.
There is just asking him there to try and bowl another maiden to Gooch. Just keep the pressure on the opening batsman, who's on 99. There it is. A splendid innings. Well-deserved reward for Graham Gooch. One of his better innings in Test match cricket. It's his 6th Test 100, his 2nd against India, and the 2nd time he's made 100 here at Lord's. An innings of great character. There it is. Taken out of its cellophane or plastic, as it probably is these days. shiny with the stitches standing out. Here's Gooch at the striker's end. Leg buys, and a little bit of a clunk of that new ball, that shiny new ball against the fence wouldn't have done it any good. And that might build into the fence again. Well, there's two lots of shine will be off it.
Kapil Dev just hoping that this new ball would swing a little more. It hasn't really swung a lot all day, and he's started the ball off at middle and leg. No swing.
Derek Pringle has done a very fine job to stay there with Gooch. He's made 44, 165 balls, hit 5 fours. Now, though, he has to face Chetan Sharma, the man who destroyed the middle of the England order. Terrific shot, and a great attempt by Maninder Singh. Landed just inside the boundary. Pringle really collected that. Derek Pringle, 48, now has his highest score in Test match cricket. Previously 47 against Australia in Perth, that was in 1982-3.
Well, that was 50. Derek Pringle's first 50 in Test match cricket. And how difficult it has been for him in the public eye. For ball, he's gone. So it's Chetan Sharma again. His fourth wicket, but there'll be lots of applause for Graham Gooch, who has held the England innings together. He struggled with his inner self, he struggled with his technique and with his form. And this is the amazing Chetan Sharma, who manages even now, towards the end of play, to get movement back off the scene. A 6 and 12 fours. Superb ovation for Graham Gooch, bowled by Chetan Sharma for 114.
No more runs added up to the time stumps were drawn. John Embury came in as night watchman to protect Paul Downton. 245 for 5, Gooch 114 and Pringle 51. A splendid partnership between those two, and the bowling figures for India dominated by Chetan Sharma, 4 for 48 from 20 overs. The other wicket taker played in blistering, blazing sunshine. I'm afraid, in fact, it was dull and gloomy at the start, with enough rain falling to cause a half-hour delay. England overnight with 245 for 5. Play began half an hour late when umpires Shepherd and Palmer had made their decision. We join play with the second ball of the second over. It's Chetan Sharma coming in. The man who made the half-century yesterday, Derek Pringle, is taking strike, and 1 run has been added to the overnight total.
All along the ground, but not a very nice feeling for the quick bowler to see the ball off the edge and through the legs of your third slip. And it's Kapil Dev, the Indian captain, and John Embury. Oh, again, Kapil Dev outside the off stump. He's had so many England batsmen playing and missing.
Yes, well, if you move the ball away from the bat, you do make people play and miss. And again, it was a very fine delivery. And John Embury did everything to try and get out there, but unfortunately for Kapil Dev, it just missed the edge of the bat again.
Well, I suppose you could technically say that was a catch, but I think Shrikant at short square leg was just unlucky to be in the way. His reaction was rapid after it had hit him, but really middled by John Embury. Chetan Sharma to Pringle. Well, that was a miscue. Came right off the top, the toe of the bat.
Well, you're not stood in that position to catch the missed hook. You're probably half getting out of the way, and suddenly just realised it bobbed up there, but you're obviously not standing there for that shot. But I think one or two of these bounces have been pretty gentle, and even with two men set for them, I think Derek Pringle might be just tempted to have a little dart.
And that's one. And yet another appeal from Chetan Sharma. And this time, it's umpire David Shepherd who is not impressed. He's cutting away towards leg stump and past. It's in the air. It's dropped. Roger Binney.
Yes, well, it went very steady indeed. Slightly mistimed drive. Possibly the fielder didn't sight it very quickly against the background. It never really got forward, but still got his hands to it, and really he wasn't those catching. But that's how it's gone for Kapil Dev throughout this innings so far.
Pringle's still there, 62 not.
Well caught. That was a real cracker. Got it off the meat of the bat. And Jimmy Amarnath snapped it up there at gully. And John Embury is gone. The 6th wicket down.
And John Embury has middled this one well enough. He smacked it straight at Amarnath. If he'd had half a chance, he might have got out the way, but it was self-protection as much as anything made him cling on to it. I think these seamers are going to cause England a little bit of trouble now.
All Downton's off the mark. Batsmen are well rugged up and sweated. The photographer isn't short on skiing gear. There was a change, denoted by Kapil Dev taking the second sweater. It's going to be Roger Binney. No doubt about that. Roger Binney mightn't have been having such a good match so far. He's made up for it there by knocking over England's second top scorer, Derek Pringle, for 63. That's a welcome sight for the Indian fielders.
Yes, and what a ball. What a ball. That's pitch middle and knocked the off out. He's turned Derek Pringle round, and well, I had a feeling a few minutes ago the seamers might still get quite a lot out of this pitch here this morning, and that was certainly proof of that. Seemed to do really quite a lot that down the hill.
Richard Ellison is the new batsman, 269 for 7. Either an appeal for OBW or for caught behind.
Well, another demonstration of this pitch is being better to bowl on. That's really gone whistling through, above waist height of the keeper. A brilliant leave, if you like. In fact, now I knew it was going to climb over the middle.
And he's given him out, not very far forward. Downton goes, very last ball before lunch, and Chetan Sharma has taken 5 wickets in the innings for the second time in a test match, and a very fine performance from him.
And at long last, he's got that LBW he's been looking for. Paul Downton just not quite stretching forward to a very straight ball, hit below the roll of the knee, and the ball really onto him before that front foot went forward.
That was a great breakthrough for India just before the luncheon interval. Chetan Sharma getting Downton for 5, Ellison not out Nort, and Dilly to come in immediately after the break. 271 for 8 at lunch on the second day of this Cornhill Test match. And India took all the honours of that first session. It was curtailed by the half an hour lost because of light rain at the start. And yet India managed to keep England down to just 26. And they took 3 wickets as well. So you could say that Kapil Dev's side took all the honours of the first hour and a half on this second day. We pick up play now after lunch in the 3rd over.
Graham Dilly, the batsman, and Roger Binney bowling. Oh, handsome. And that's a reminder that when he did play that innings, that long partnership with both of them, Graham Dilly is by no means the blocker at the other end. He played some crashing shots. And that's proof that those talents haven't left him. Well, that's what Roger Binney and Kapil Dev are expecting from Graham Dilly. Still, in the meantime, is Chetan Sharma to Ellison. Oh, dropped him. Well, that was a bit of rapid cricket. Very useful ball.
Well, that's certainly carried through pretty quick to say what an easy place wicket it was. He hurried the batsman, and in fact the keeper was a bit late in getting across as well. And not the sort of delivery you really expect on this type of wicket.
Nicely played. Astonishing game, this cricket. One moment you can be all at sea, and next ball play a perfect leg glance. Roger Binney. Well caught. Super catch. Kapil Dev. And so persevering outside the off stump of these two left-handers has provided the reward for Roger Binney. Richard Ellison caught by Kapil Dev at second slip.
Well, another very, very fine catch indeed. Way to his left and low, and considering how cold it is out there and the fingers must be a bit cold, the Indians have fielded pretty well. The general fielding and the slip fielding has been very good indeed.
Couple of slips, a gully, Binney to Edmonds. Oh, in the air. A little bravado from Edmonds. Off the mark, first ball. And chip over wicket.
Paul just probably stopping a little bit here, and it just clearing the fielder. He's got his hands stretched out, but just that foot or so away.
Quite a few people thinking about the start of the Indian innings. The ground staff, the roller ready. often a fatal sight for the fielding side because they think it's all over. But there are two batsmen of reasonable talent out there. So much for the bowler.
Well, again, a little bit of extra bounce there, and Philip Edmonds going for the square cut and got a top edge. So at least the ball's getting a little bit higher than yesterday. You can see that got just above waist high and clearing the top of slip quite comfortably.
Yes, a third wicket for Roger Binney. That was wide. Playing to Dilley's possible strength outside the off stump, but really very wide indeed.
That's a fine performance from the Indian bowlers and fielders to bowl out England for just 294. The Englishmen, I suppose, will be happy to have got that far after the middle order collapse. The fine partnership between Gooch and Pringle getting them on the way, and today Ellison getting into double figures, but Dilley failing to do so, and Edmonds 7 not out. The bowlers for India were dominated by Chetan Sharma, 5 for 64 from 32 overs and 10 maidens, 3 wickets to Roger Binney. Thought Kapil Dev could have kept himself on, but unselfishly gave Binney the chance to pick up wickets towards the end. Kapil Dev had 1, Binney 3, and Maninder Singh, the left-arm spinner, bowled in splendid style with very cold fingers, 30 overs, 15 maidens, and 1 for 45. We were saying towards the end of the innings that the ball was moving around quite a bit off the seam, and we were looking forward to what the English bowlers might do in the early part of the innings against Gavaskar, Srikanth, and the other Indian batsmen. We pick it up now in the third over. Just 1 run on the board. Graham Dilley is the bowler. He's coming in from the pavilion end, and taking strike is Chris Srikanth.
David Gower there, the England captain, sporting a black left eye. He required that to keep a wicket for Leicestershire in the last match. He dived down the leg side, got a hand to it, and it came back into that left eye. Yeah, but he got a victim. He stumped Malathi, so he'd be pretty happy.
Richard Ellison. Just about the perfectly pitched delivery.
First time that Richard Ellison has managed to draw the batsman into the stroke. They've been leaving the ball well outside off, but that was just about in the slot.
That's a fine stroke. I think Dilley lost his run on the way in. Looked to me as though he bowled it from or half a yard behind where he would normally be, and Srikanth took full advantage of it.
So a nice half volley around off stump. The line was good, but Srikanth lays about him when the ball's there to hit.
Delightful stroke, all class.
The sun coming out, of course, hasn't done England any favours. It makes a huge difference to batting if the sun is out. And more runs. This Indian opening pair settling down pretty comfortably. Beat once or twice, but the run's coming. This very attacking field.
Four more. Scotland doesn't waste too much. That's loose. Gatting it was. That fourth slip. Srikanth is gone. What a nice birthday present from Mike Gatting. 29 today, and the catch that takes the first wicket for England.
Well, Graham Dilley's got one on target there. It was straight enough to get Srikanth playing. He has swung the ball away, so that's good bowling.
Mohinder Amarnath comes out to join Gavaskar.
Yeah, that's good bowling. Pitch it right up. Actually, it's right in the block hole. It's yorked him. It's beaten the outside of the bat as well.
Oh, that was very sharp fielding by Phil Edmonds. The ball went to his left hand. Phil Edmonds left-handed, of course.
Yes, a fine piece of fielding there. No helmet for Phil Edmonds, but he's pretty brave in there, and he threw that ball. It was still in the air, and probably the batsman would just about have got away with the decision if it had hit, but fine piece of fielding.
Oh, that was marvellously bowled by Graham Dilley. Tall man whacks the ball into the pitch. Gets movement off the seam.
Well, certainly plenty of movement there off the seam, and at the pace that Graham Dilley bowls it, really that cut him in two and went straight over the top of the stumps.
Ellison to Gavaskar. Didn't carry. John Embury, the man at third slip.
Again, you see that little bit of movement out off the seam. Very good delivery. Almost catching the shoulder of the bat, but still going down a couple of feet short of the slip fielders.
There you see the merit. Richard Ellison keeping the ball well up for the bat, giving it time to swing.
Yeah, another very fine delivery there. That set up an off stump and really swinging away beautifully. Certainly Richard Ellison this over causing quite a few problems there for Sonny Gavaskar. 6 overs at the moment, 2 maidens, 0 for 10. It's pretty good bowling.
So it's the 15th over of the innings. An early spell for John Embury. Embury to Amarnath. No stroke played, but it was a brilliant catch.
Yes, it certainly was, because in his wrong hand, his right hand, and he is left-handed. But the more interesting thing was there was certainly a little bit of turn there for John Embury. David Gower now is bringing Phil Edmonds on at the other end, so whilst everything the seamers are moving it around, he's tend to spin at both ends.
Oh, beautifully played. Up the hill there, stopped on the slope. Beautifully played by Sunil Gavaskar, body well over the ball.
Yeah, it's a fine shot this. He got right over the top of it, head down, and pushed it away through mid-wicket for 3 runs.
That's a good shot. Indian batsman definitely plays spin well.
Well, those clouds I was talking about got a bit of juice in them as well. Well, they should put that on video for Graham Dilley. let him see that that is the line. Troubles the batsman most. Line and the pace. 3 more runs were added to take the total along to 45 for 1. And then heavy rain swept across the ground. The players had to race for the pavilion, and 1 hour in all was lost. The umpires decided, under the playing conditions, that play would continue until 7 o'clock. We pick it up now in the second over after the players return to the field. 1 leg bye has been added to the score. The bowler is Graham Dilley, and he's bowling to Mahinda Ramanath.
Full toss. Must be 4. Graham Dilley will remember from his previous test experience that test match batsmen very rarely miss the opportunity to put away a full toss on leg stump. That's a good line. Persuaded Amanath to play the stroke in spite of the 4 slips in the gully. Just that late movement. At last. Contact and entertainment.
Well, Amanath's tried to play this shot 3 or 4 times and never made contact, and Graham Dilley just tried him out again, but this time he managed to middle it nicely and just knocked it past cover point without any trouble.
Half shout. No real conviction from Dilley. The shout started behind the stumps. Going well down leg side. 14 overs, 1 for 35. It's Richard Ellison to continue from the nursery end. Oh, good effort. It'll go down as a drop catch, but that was a very fine effort. That really went quickly. A slashing shot outside off stump by Mahinda Ramanath.
Yes, it was short, and he really gave it everything there, and well wide of the fielder, and really I think we put down as a pretty good stop.
It was John Embury. One of those, sometimes when they stick, then you must feel absolutely marvellous, but it was flying past John Embury. Genuine stroke from Sunil Gavaskar.
This was a fine delivery. There've not been many better than that ball this match. It was round about the off stick, and it went like a big leg break, and not many people get it past Sunil Gavaskar when he's nicely set.
I've seen a bit of that. Batsman playing and missing. Movement for the bowler outside the off stump.
Change from the nursery end. Derek Pringle. So it might just have been missing leg stump, but it wasn't far away. Just did enough to beat the inside edge, the forward stroke. Bad bounce there for Robinson. Two more to Ramanath.
2 England selectors there. Fred Titmus, pipe smoking. Phil Sharp alongside.
Embury to Ramanath. Ellison just out of his reach, and it'll race away down to the boundary. It's well bowled by Embury. Gave a little bit of air, and Amarnath was down, beaten in the flight. Just managed to chip it fractionally over Ellison's fingers. 12 more runs added to take the Indian total at the close of play up to 83 for 1. Gavaskar 30 not out, and Mahinder Amarnath 27. Srikanth the man out for 20, and he fell to Dilley, who had 1 for 35 in 14 overs. Ellison bowled very well, 16 overs for 16 runs, and beat the bat on many occasions. Runs were scored in 83 overs in the day. It was shortened by half an hour. Don't forget we had the hour added on at the end. India 83 for 1, 211 runs behind. So Gavaskar and Mahinder Amarnath, the overnight not out batsman. Here's the first ball of the morning. Richard Ellison is the bowler. Gavaskar is taking strike. Start in complete contrast with yesterday's play, when boundaries seemed almost impossible to come by. 1 from the first ball of the day.
And again, that perfect head position, never moving at all, lovely follow through.
Ball is 51 overs old, still moving in the air against Sunil Gavaskar, who in his 113 matches is pushing up towards 10,000 runs. Easy 3 for Mahinder Amarnath.
There's Graham Dilley, a nice gentle loosener here, just a little bit over pitched, and no real problem from Amarnath just to push it past the vacant area. Nobody at mid-off.
Safely held. And once more, Gavaskar cannot reach 3 figures at Lord's. Good delivery from Graham Dilley. It left Gavaskar. Couldn't do much about it. He played it as well as he possibly could. But the movement off the seam found the outside edge, and John Embury has a very, very safe pair of hands close to the wicket. Venkata, a very experienced player. They're keeping Mohammad Azharuddin down the list. That's a big leg break. Bowled at a decent pace as well.
Yeah, fine delivery there, some really went. And the surprising thing is that the wind has changed around, and it's now come from behind Graham Dilley. You can see the flags really fluttering there.
No chance of chopping that off. One for the memory for the Indian batsman. Looks as though Pringle's arm's gone. Century up for India, 102 for 2, 37 to Amarnath, and 3 now to Venkata. I think we can assume Pringle is going to bowl. It's a lot of work to go through just to field at first slip. And this is a family program. Safe and poor. Gave that the big slash outside the off stump.
Yes, to give this the full treatment, slight top edge, but it was always going to go pretty hard, and Graham Dilley just getting a bit too much width there. He's giving the batsman too much room.
Very good looking stroke. Half century for Mahinder Amarnath. Beautiful shot. Really gave that one some hammer. Perfectly executed.
Well, this is the first time we've seen Amarnath really rock onto the back foot and go for the back foot drive. Not a lot of footwork there, but the bat certainly met the ball.
Oh, what an over for Mahendra Amarnath.
Well, this is real quality. We've seen a wonderful front foot drive, then the back foot drive, and now the hook stroke. Very well balanced. Ball not all that short, but beautifully picked up. Well, there's been a dramatic change in the scoring rate of these two Indian batsmen. In the last 9 overs since Dilley was taken off, they've only scored 4 runs.
Beautifully played, Mahendra Amarnath, and the 150 comes up.
Oh, John Emburey is still looking like he's going to wheel away from the pavilion end.
It's beautifully bowled. Really stretched the batsman. Thought he had it covered. Thought he had it covered again. And then finally had to play it one hand. Phil Edmonds is coming on down at the nursery end. And getting a wicket. Well done, well bowled. And the two spinners working together has come off for David Gower. Been good tactics and very well bowled by both of them. Not just Phil Edmonds who took the wicket, but John Emburey at the other end as well.
Amarnath there just losing patience a little bit, going down, trying to hit him over the top. Didn't quite get to the pitch. Slight inside edge, not quite middle, and the ball just lobbing up very comfortably to mid-on. But good bowling there by the England bowlers.
That was a very good wicket for England to take. Mahendra Amarnath had played extremely well there until Edmonds deceived him and had him caught at wide mid-on by Derek Pringle for 69. Vengsarkar 31 not out. Mohammad Azharuddin 4 not out. Just 7 more overs had been bowled up to the luncheon interval, but only 8 runs added. It was a very fine performance from the England bowlers and fielders, and from David Gower as well, who, after the Indians got away with 50 runs from 9 overs, he kept them down to just 5 runs from the next 9. We pick up play now after lunch in the 8th over. 13 runs have been added. Graham Dilley is coming in with the second new ball, and he's bowling to Mohammad Azharuddin.
So much for the new ball.
Yes, it just goes a bit quicker off the bat. A very fine shot, slightly going forward, then rocks onto his back foot, and a very powerful shot through extra cover.
From the nursery end, with the second new ball, Richard Ellison to Dilip Vengsarkar.
Super shot.
It had elegance, but it also had tremendous power. Dilley to Vengsarkar. Bowled. Beaten for speed. Graham Dilley just managing to run that ball away from the right-handers. cracking shot. And that is Dilip Bensarkar's 50. And a fine half-century it has been. It began with all due caution, but since the second new ball's been taken, played some crashing fours. 51 not out, 203 for 3.
Well, this was probably the stroke of the Test match so far. Down on one knee, crashing it away, square on the offside, and what a stroke to go to your half-century with. A lot of power there.
Fierce slash outside the off stump. 4 runs. Gooch couldn't get to it, nor could Pringle. Dilley to Mohammad Azharuddin. Beautiful shot. Too short from Graham Dilley, as he has been for much of the time with his second new ball. And Mohammad Azharuddin is very strong, square of the wicket on the offside. Very good strokes being played here by these two batsmen, Mohammad Azharuddin and Dilip Bensarkar. Good caught, well done. On the follow through, Dilley has picked him up, and he's taken 3 wickets now. It cost him 100 runs, but he struck back in the face of some punishment from these two players. Mohammad Azharuddin fought and bowled Graham Dilley for 33. Ellison to Bensarkar. Oh, lovely square drive. Beautifully timed. Bensarkar is paying no attention to the loss of Mohammad Azharuddin. Gloriously placed. Turn of the wrist just as he made contact with the ball. Ravi Shastri taking strike, and Graham Dilley is the bowler. Oh, good catch. Just round the corner. He's a very sharp catcher, Phil Edmonds. Beautifully judged. Had to go forward and fractionally sideways, and Ravi Shastri is gone. It's 2:38 for 5 now. And Bensarkar is still there on 67. Shastri out for 1. Well bowled. Couldn't quite keep it down. And Edmonds going forward and sideways, beautifully balanced. Graham Dilley now has Gavaskar, Srikanth, Azharuddin and Shastri. Great shot. An explosive pull shot from Dilip Bensarkar. Absolutely rocketed away through mid-wicket.
Ellison to Binney. Dropped him. Richard Ellison on the follow-through. Difficult chance. But Roger Binney gives a chance, gets away with it. Philip Edmonds has stirred them up there. So it's Pringle to Binney. That's a good shot. My word, these Indian batsmen are strong off the legs. Roger Binney clipping it square and firmly on the onside. That's out. The merit of bowling straight and keeping the ball well up to the bat. Interesting sequence that. First the clip off the legs to square leg before, and then Roger Binney looking for the similar shot, played across the line and missed it.
Yes, no doubt about that one. That was very straight indeed, and getting across the line.
Ellison to Kapildev. That's in the air and caught. So Kapildev goes for one, caught by Alan Lamb at backward point. Congratulations to Richard Ellison and England finding their way through this Indian tail.
Kapildev looking to play a little bit early there, trying to get off the back foot, and the ball just went nice and steady, square on the offside, straight to Alan Lamb.
Another fine shot by Dilip Vinsarkar. Splendid save by Philippe Edmonds. Deep mid-wicket. They take 3 runs, but the applause very much for Edmonds. Good chase and throw. It looks as if India might build up a very big lead. As it is, who knows, England might lead themselves. Going much quicker than he thought. Philippe Edmonds a little late on that one. It's a cracking square drive just behind square. Derek Pringle from the pavilion end to bowl to Chetan Sharma. That says it all. Chetan Sharma, a victim of Derek Pringle. Pringle earning his reward again by bowling absolutely straight.
Yes, that didn't do a great deal. It just ran on down the hill, the line it had taken, but Sharma has once or twice played the wrong line, and I think he did that a little bit here and lost that off stump.
That was a terrific session for England. They took 5 wickets. And although they cost them 98 runs, it was marvellous to get a breakthrough of that kind. Full credit to the bowlers and to David Gower once again for his captaincy. It was a very, very fine England performance to fight back in that way, but still they're being held up by Dilip Vinsarkar, who is 81 not out. 267 for 8. We pick up play now in the second over after tea. 8 runs have been added. It's Vinsarkar taking strike now, and Graham Dilley is the bowler. Almost a great save, but it turned out instead just to be a marvellous shot.
Fine shot again, very powerful is Vinsarkar on the offside square, and Phil Edmonds having a bit of a hard day down there. It's just beating him at either side. If he goes square, it goes fine, and vice versa, and this time it goes square of him.
Kieran Moray about to take strike to Dilley. Just out of the reach of the man just behind square. And 4 runs. Well, not only can he drive, Kieran Moray, but he can also play the hook shot.
Yes, he got in a pretty good position. Bouncer got inside it and knocked it down. Just missed the man by square leg, but ate it pretty well.
This will go, please, Gower or Dilley. One of the reasons Dilley's been expensive today has been that the ball has been finding the outside edge and running away between the slips. Not always protected by someone behind there. first innings points to India. Derek Pringle, 2 for 44, just coming in now from the nursery end. He got 4 for that. .300 up for India. And Kiran Moray's gone to 25. And he's gone over W. Pringle struck again. That's a good effort from the all-rounder. Second top score for England, and now he's picked up his 3rd wicket. India 303 for 9, and Venkata tantalisingly just 5 short of a 3rd century at Lord's.
Not doing a great deal, just holding its line up the hill, probably to roundabout leg and middle.
But it's no good having him there if it goes through mid-wicket. Lovely shot. 99. Now the men can come in. Five men saving the single. There it is. Tip and run. Venkata has made another 100. What a pity his moment of pleasure should have to be marred by people like that. One of the great things about making 100 on any ground, and in particular here at Lord's, is to be able to stand there and take the applause of the crowd. And in fact, he's being mauled by spectators who are more interested in having themselves in the public eye and allowing Venkata to take his proper dues.
Phil Edmonds comes on from the nursery end. Oh, that's a stumping missed. Poor Paul Downton, not having much luck with his stumpings these days. A difficult one, the batsman plays right over it. Pops out of the gloves. It's a scramble, and Maninder Singh gets back home. The lead is building up, 28 runs now. And last wicket stands, the absolute bane of a captain's life. Especially when they're embarked on this business of giving one to the batsman and trying to knock out the tail ender. Well, looks if it just got a tickle on that.
So the frustration increases. A missed stumping in the previous over by Paul Downton, and now that little nick pad just eluding Mike Gatting.
Oh my word. Maninder. Well, he really enjoyed that. I fancy he'd been saving it up. He knew he could do it all the time. And one left armer loves to do that to another one.
Dilip Venkata still struggling with that arm injury sustained when the fans came on the field.
Come on, John, let's see if you can just break up the partnership.
There are a few more like him around. Mrs. Thatcher would be tremendously proud of him. Poor little lad has just lost his deposit. top spinner did the job. India all out for 342. A most commendable effort. Dilip Vengsarkar not out 126. And those runs came out of a total of 342. Each of the two last wicket partnerships added 39, a tremendous bonus for India. Karan More making 25, and Maninder Singh 6, and he batted for over 1 hour. The England bowling, they stuck to it well. The fielding was quite good. Dilly took some stick, but he also bowled with great penetration at times. 34 overs, 7 maidens, 4 for 146, 3 to Pringle. Cheerless day at Lord's early on. There was a little drizzle before the start of play. Looked as though it might have been held up for a while, but then the umpires came out and the game got away on time. Fine performance from their batsman, particularly Vengsarkar on Saturday, was always going to be Kapil Dev, their skipper. Tremendous performer, marvellous all-rounder, and a very, very fine bowler in these conditions. We pick up play now in the 5th over of the morning. 9 runs have been added. It's 17 for no wicket. Robinson is taking strike, and it's Roger Binney with the ball.
Well, again the ball hits Shrikant before it bounces. It's almost target practice there.
Yeah, there've been a few what you call half chances knocking around this morning, but when you're feeling as close as Shrikant is there, it's got to go exactly into the right part of the hand, otherwise it doesn't stick.
So Kapil Dev from the pavilion end to Tim Robinson. That's the one, comes back down the slope.
Yes, a couple of bounces being bowled the previous 2 balls, probably getting people on the back foot, but that just did a bit too much and would have missed leg stump.
Oh, that must be out. And that's fine bowling by Kapil Dev, who tried plenty of variations during that over. Experimented with the short ball, and the catch arriving safely in the hands of Mohinder Amarnath in the gully. So Tim Robinson goes.
Well, certainly he was done for pace there. Kapil Dev banged it in again short, halfway down, but it's a good one. He got it right into the chest and chin area and tucked him up, and the ball just went away nice and steady there. But that's pretty good bowling then. This is the thing you always feel, there's a little bit more bounce bowling from this end, a bit quicker, and Kapil Dev proved that there. That was a pretty useful delivery. I mean, Kapil Dev's not what you call a real quick bowler, but that was certainly pretty hasty, and it took Tim Robinson up completely. And a bit of pressure now on David Gower, because another wicket to go down, and England would be in real trouble. So he's got everything to play for here.
Well, was that a catch? There was a double clip, you could hear the sound, and judging from the reaction of the close fielders might have been. Now, who can interpret the umpire?
A fine delivery this. He got the ball to go back up the hill. Personally, I thought that just hit the pad, but David Gower pretty near to it.
Roger Binney from the nursery end. Well, never mind the footwear. The footwork was fine, and the back work perfect.
And David probably thinks he doesn't move his feet very much. If he has long spikes, he doesn't move them at all. But he played that very easily. Nice follow through, and the Gower timing was there, and the ball sped away square on the offside for 4.
Confident appeal, and Gooch is gone. Well, Kapil Dev knew that that was out the moment he shouted, and Graham Gooch, very severe loss for England. England still behind, and Kapil Dev strikes for the 2nd time.
Well, again, Graham Gooch didn't get forward. That front foot's hardly in front of the crease, and there's no doubt of the umpire giving that one out. If he get forward, he'd have got away with it, but he's still got that slight habit at the moment of falling over and not getting fully forward. And we said Kapil Dev didn't have much luck in the first innings, but when this fella starts to take wickets, he seems to get them in 4s and 5s. Well, if he does that today, England will be in big trouble.
It's Kapil Dev to Gatting. He's off the mark, and that means he's off a pair.
Well, good thinking by Kapil Dev. He didn't get it just in the right place, but Mike Gatting's always been prepared to go for it. First ball, he goes for the hook here. It tucks him up a little bit. He didn't middle it. It kind of hit the splice and just really lobbed away.
Chetan Sharma it is from the nursery end.
And of course, Chetan Sharma knocked Mike Gatting's stumps all over the place in the first innings. He's hurried him into a stroke there. He's a little bit quicker than he looks. He's quite a small fellow, but he's very whippy.
Missed by a whisker. That would have been unlucky for Gatting. I think he was surprised by the movement, perhaps by the change of pace as well.
Well, unlucky you may say, but actually the right foot never went anywhere near the line of the ball. He was playing with a huge gap between the body and the bat.
Beautifully bowled. And I think Gow knew instantly he was gone. That seemed to me to come up the hill. Beautiful piece of bowling. Quite an outstanding performance from Kapil Dev this morning in his 8th over. He's just taken his 3rd wicket. Once again, it was the case of the perfect length from the bowler, forcing the batsman into an indeterminate stroke, not able to get forward, and yet the pace of the ball and the movement was enough to cause confusion and then destruction. 35 for 3. 8 to Gooch, 11 to Robinson, 8 to Gower. Gatting is 6, and Alan Lamb is the new batsman. There's a nice start. Swinging half volley, dispatched beautifully.
Yes, Alan Lamb straight on the front foot, and if you do pitch it up to him, he is all ready to give it a crack.
11 matches. Chetan Sharma has played now. And 3 there. And in fact, it was raced across the outfield. Must have been beautifully timed by Alan Lamb. Well, that's the sort of thing England need. They've gone onto the scoring board now. Having had a deficit there, they've now made 48 for 3. They're, in effect, 1 for 3 wickets.
That'll be close. Very close indeed. It was a risky run by Alan Lamb, pushed in front of Shrikant at mid-wicket. It's a good, clean pickup. And that would have been a testing one for the umpire, Ken Palmer. Another one straight through cover.
That's a perfect position to play the cover drive off the back foot. Went slightly forward, but then went nice onto the back foot.
That's through him.
And that's the length and the line that they should have been bowling for the last half hour. Off stump, just outside, good line. Mike Gatting playing, and he pulled his bat away, but I'm afraid that that was after the ball had gone.
That was around 10 minutes before lunch, and in the remaining time, India bowled 4 overs. England made only 3 from Shastri and Maninder Singh to take them along to 89 for 3. A good partnership there between Gatting, 31, and Lamb, 29. But the real honours of the morning went to the Indian skipper Kapil Dev, 11 overs, 2 maidens, 3 for 26. A wonderful spell of bowling. The rest of them bowled well also, but they got a little excited at one stage. The runs came more freely, and it was Kapil Dev who really did a tremendous job. The position then at lunch on this 4th day, England were 42 runs ahead at 89 for 3. We pick it up now in the 2nd over after lunch. 2 runs have been added, and as Chetan Sharma coming in, Alan Lamb is taking strike. Squared a little on the offside, and the outfield nice and quick today.
Well, Alan Lamb's missed very little, and even though he's hit that high on the bat, he's timed it well, and it's raced through the covers for 4.
Beautiful stroke for 4. That's a nice reply from Mike Gatting. Beautiful stroke off the front foot.
And these 2 right-handers fighting back well.
100 for 3 now. Well, he knows what happens down there. He may be on his first tour of England, but he knows what happens when the ball starts running down towards the tavern. If you're going to dive, you've got to do it early.
Beautifully timed stroke. I think he just took a view. Unless I'm going to go now, I'm never going to get there. Like the man dying of thirst in the desert.
The nursery end, it's Shastri. Oh, well done, well bowled. The one that comes back with the arm. It was too full to cut, I'd say, but it really scurried off the pitch. That's very well bowled by Ravi Shastri. And Alan Lamb is gone for 39.
Well, it was tossed up, short of a length, and Alan Lamb's gone for the cut. Ball hasn't actually bounced very much. He's got an under edge.
Derek Pringle comes out now. Nice fine sweep.
Well, a major part of Mike Gatting's armoury against the slow bowlers is his sweeping. He's a pretty effective sweeper.
Here's Chetan Sharma now. He's done well this match, and Chetan Sharma. 5 in the first innings, and now he's taken the England top scorer. Looked as though it may have been pad to stumps, but it still beat him. 113 for 5 now.
Second time in the match that Sharma's got through Mike Gatting. Well, he was looking to make the forward stroke, then decided not, got done halfway. He's just brushed his pads and back onto the stumps.
Well, there's tremendous pressure on the England batsmen out there. The spin bowlers are going to be able to keep close men up in front of the bat and pad of both sides. There's a little bit of turn in the wicket, so there's going to be a lot of pressure there from the spin bowlers. And of course, there's still a little bit of movement for the seam bowlers. So England certainly have a lot of work to do if they're going to get out of this match.
couple more to Derek Pringle, following his innings in the first innings of 63. It'll be good for the England selectors to see Pringle establish himself as a reliable middle-order batsman. And back comes the skipper, Kapil Dev, to bowl from the pavilion end. Kapil Dev to Pringle. Oh, that's it. Beautiful length. Derek Pringle caught in two minds. And beautifully taken behind the stumps by Kieran Morey.
Well, that was a fine delivery. I'm just beginning to think that probably it's not moving as much when Kapil Dev got the ball to go up there. Very late indeed, and a very fine delivery. This near the stumps, pitched about off. They had to play, and the ball went beautifully up there. There's not much Derek Pringle could do about that.
So 4 wickets to Kapil. 121 for 6. The focus now on Ellison and Embury and Dilley and Edmonds and Paul Downton, who is the not-out batsman. Outside edge, but that's thick, along the ground and into space.
Very similar delivery there to the one that got Derek Pringle out. Didn't do quite as much, but same length, line. Just offered to go out, and Paul Downton this time getting a little bit farther forward, got over the top and a thick edge through gully.
Oh, that's a fine shot. That's a blow struck for freedom.
Well, Paul Downton getting everything nicely right there. Foot nicely forward, bat very straight and kept on line. Good follow through. Of course, the problem for these lower order batsmen at this time of the season, they've played nothing but one-day cricket more or less, and they've probably been getting in for 5 or 6 overs and having given it a quick whirl. Now they've got to go out there and bat for 4 or 5 hours, and it's a completely different situation.
That's 4. Thickish edge, but safe enough. All very valuable runs.
Well, that was well batted because Paul Downton knows that Kapil Dev is trying to drop it a little short to counteract that forward push.
Well, now there's a surprise. Kapil Dev has taken himself off just when he has the chance to have a go at Ellison. And it's to be Maninder Singh. Well bowled. He's been drifting that ball into the right-hander and having it go straight on. That one drifted in, but it spun away as well. It's also very well played by Downton. .50 up. So this pair are moving along reasonably smoothly. Indeed, they were moving along reasonably smoothly. 151 for 6, 4 overs up to tea, and only 1 run scored. Allowed India to get on top just as they walked out for the interval. But with Downton 24 and Ellison 8 going well and sharing a very staunch partnership there was still hope for England. The bowling for India dominated still by Kapil Dev, and then the two spinners as well did a wonderful job. Shastri and Maninder Singh, the latter having bowled 5 overs for 4, and Shastri the 1 wicket for 17, and Kapil Dev 4 for 46, with Chetan Sharma 1 for 46. 104 runs ahead England, but only 4 wickets in hand now, and real problems for them there in this last session. They really needed to get through to the close of play without losing any more wickets. We pick it up now in the 7th over after the interval. 4 runs have been added. Kapil Dev, the skipper, is coming into bowl. Richard Ellison is taking strike.
Gets us through this time. Beautifully bowled. But Paul Downton safely out there, well forward, that front foot.
Yes, a fine delivery, but just a little bit too much bounce and just going on down the leg side. And a fine delivery, and I would think that is probably Kapil Dev finished for a while now. Putting his big sweater on. Fine performance so far today. He's 4 for 52 in 20 overs, and he really has bowled magnificently.
So England's fight back continues against Maninder Singh from the nursery end. That's out. Downton's first real attacking stroke, and that was amazingly caught by Ravi Shastri. Amazing because it's quite a surprise that Downton hit the only fielder placed back there out of the close ring.
Yes, so the ball just keeps running just for India and against England. That really could have gone a number of different places. You can call it good field placing by Kapil and his bowler. And perhaps Paul Downton needn't really have played that sweep stroke. Pitching right outside the leg stump. He couldn't have been LBW. He could have just kicked it away. But he went for the runs. And he's just picked out Shastri, standing about 40 yards just behind square.
This is medium fast seam bowling. Roger Binney from the pavilion end.
It's a good shot. Nicely stroked away down the hill. Yes, if Maninder Singh had pitched in that foot mark or on the edge of it, it would have been some uneven bounce. That may have been the reason it went in the... In fact, I think it just got the edge. That's gone. It's well bowled by Roger Binney. He got the one to bounce at Richard Ellison 3 deliveries ago. Then the next one beat him outside the off stump. And that one was a very full length, and it went a long, long way down the slope. England now in dire straits.
And a very neat bit of catching too by the keeper Murray, because it has stayed quite low. He's had to move quite a long way for it.
John Embury to take strike. Singh could hardly believe what was happening to him there. One moment the bat was turning, and the next the ball was coming back at him at dolly height. 170 for 9. It's going to be Maninder Singh to bowl to Philippe Edmonds. Oh, well caught. I'll take that back. We'll just start again. It's 176 for 9.
Well, Maninder Singh thought it was out. He was down at this end before the ball nearly. But no reply from the umpire. Well, it certainly hit the pad first. Whether it touched the bat afterwards, I don't know. We can't tell from umpire.
India reached this stage of impasse with Paul Downton and Ellison in their long stand. They're under appeal for everything. That concludes the proceedings for today, gents. And you know, it almost ended in the same fashion. It was Downton who had a swing at the left-arm spinner and was caught, and so did Edmonds. Fancied the cover drive. Maninder Singh, the man who's seen it all over in the end. 180 all out, England.
And that's not nearly as many as David Gower would have preferred. I reckon he would have wanted something around about the 250 mark to set India a proper target tomorrow. 19 to Richard Ellison, and then the struggle at the end for Embury, Dilley and Edmonds, taking up time as well as trying to score runs, and only 172 runs scored in the day. Kapil Dev, the Indian skipper, will be delighted by his own bowling figures there, 4 for 52, and also by the match position, which shows India in a very, very strong state at this moment. One here now with the third ball of the second over. There's just a leg by on the board for India, and it's Richard Ellison coming into bowl to Sunil Gavaskar. What a little blinder. Give that a whack. Very well bowled. Just about the perfect Yorker, beautifully pitched right in the block hole, and it needed a very good batsman to keep it out. Well done. Deserved that, Graham Dilley. Nicely caught by Gooch. A thoroughly good wicket all round. Good piece of bowling. The ball kept up to the bat. Just enough movement to find the outside edge. And a very well taken catch. Nice movement. Just enough to find the outside edge. Graham Gooch was going up. He got his hands up to chest height, then had to bring them down again, but he caught it firmly enough. Amanatha with the non-striker. Ellison will come in from the nursery end and bowl to Gavaskar. It's the frustrating one for England, the one that gets past the outside edge of Gavaskar's bat.
Yes, for the first time, Richard Ellison get a little bit of bounce there, and just that little bit of movement. And certainly everything was very near to the ball there, but unfortunately for England, just missing that edge of that bat.
Nicely timed and placed as well. Gadding, vain chase, no chance of getting that off.
Well, Gavaskar had been getting a bit tied down and was just fretting a little bit, but he's played this really quite beautifully, because the ball was on the up when it came to him. He's weighted on it, very good balance, and turned it through the leg side for 4.
And over the last few days, we've been talking about Sunil Gavaskar's desire to get a century at Lords. I don't think we've been quite fair to him, because it turns out that this is the first test that he's ever played at Lords.
Well, it's the first time that no third man ploy has proved expensive, but throughout the match it's proved pretty expensive for the fielding captains.
24 for 1. And now David Gower turns to Pringle from the nursery end. Strong appeal from Pringle.
Gavaskar making to clip this on the leg side. That's pitched off stump, and it's certainly got through to the pad, which wasn't all that far forward. That was a very fair shout.
And I do believe Sunil Gavaskar is wearing odd pads. You see the 2 rolls on the one pad and the knee, and 3 on the other. Oh, that hit him. Now, did that hit the helmet? Certainly bounced a long way. Going to Amarnath, and luckily hit on the head. It must have hurt him, certainly shock.
Well, it was certainly pretty short, but it didn't get that high, really. Probably just above waist high if the batsman had been stood up. He started trying to watch it, realised he hadn't got low enough or out of the way, and just turned his head away, I think, and probably got him towards the back of the head somewhere.
Yes, took his eye off the ball, which is easier to criticise from a distance than it is if you're actually out there playing. Mixture of selectors and coaches. Don Wilson, the MCC coach, extreme right. Fred Titmuss, selector. Phil Sharp, Peter May in the background. That's caught. And that's definitely out. It was a long stay at the crease by Gavaskar. He reached, he played wide of the off stump and was superbly caught.
Yes, well, the little master was reluctant to go then, but no doubt about it, almost identical to the first innings. A little bit wide again, and he pushed through it, not really driving hardly, but pushing through, and the ball went between first slip and the keeper taking it pretty low down.
Dilip Bengsarkar, 126 not out in the first innings. It wasn't badly bowled at all. Yorker, but just straight outside leg stump.
Yes, Graham Dilley striving for the leg stump Yorker, which is a perfect delivery to bowl, and he wasn't very far away. He got the length right, just that 2 or 3 inches down the leg side.
That's an edge, but a profitable one.
Because one thing you don't want when you've only got a handful of runs is the ball to run away off the edge for 4. Very exasperating for the England team and the England bowler in particular.
Well, that's not a very good sign, is it? John Embury.
Yes, well, just watching when it chased down to third man there, and it looked to be just struggling that last yard or two. And must be something just in the hip, back. They're laughing about it, but it could be quite serious if Cote can't bowl. And it looks like he's in fact going off. And certainly limping a little.
third man. It's whatever they run or whether it reaches the rope, which it won't quite do. ...50 for 2. Batsman out. Gavaskar 22 and Srikanth without scoring. 50 and 110 balls. Graham Dilley is going off the field. Must have sustained some form of injury. David Gower has a problem out there because with Dilley having gone off the field and Embury, both of them bowlers from the pavilion end, it's difficult for him to work Edmonds into the attack if he wants to bowl Pringle at the moment. Pringle's coming out from the nursery end. So Ellison is coming on at the pavilion end. Whistled away square of the wicket. And after that boundary, 5 more runs were added to take the score at lunchtime up to 72 for 2. 4 of those 5, in fact, were leg byes. The position of the game, with Vengsarkar 28 not out, was that India at lunch needed another 62 runs to win. In a very strong position they were at that particular moment. We pick it up now with the first ball of the second over after lunch. 1 more run has been added to the score. Derek Pringle is the bowler. He's bowling to Dilip Vengsarkar.
Well, a very good line, Pringle. Not just moving on leg side, but he's bowled very straight during this match. So Gower, not only defending modest 134 runs, now has to do it with 2 of his leading bowlers. Dilley, the taker of 2 wickets in this innings, and John Embury just might have turned the screw on the Indian batsman. Good shout. So Pringle again strikes. Uncomplicated style of simply bowling straight. And Mohinder Amarnath, who was beginning to struggle more and more, is the victim. Amarnath, LBW bowled Pringle for 8, and India are now 76 for 3. It's quite a good bouncer that Derek Pringle bowls, because it comes out of his natural action. No warning at all to the batsman. And he catches 1 or 2 by surprise. Edmonds to Vengsarkar from the nursery end. Bowled him. Beautiful bowling. The ball coming on with the arm. And Vengsarkar completely deceived. And there'll be a scampering around in the Indian dressing room. Because from here on in, this match will be won or lost as much in the mind as anywhere else. So the hero of the first innings, Dilip Vengsarkar, makes a complete misjudgment. And Phil Edmonds brings the ball on with the arm through the gate, and over they go. Now it's now being confirmed that John Embury was off the field with his back injury for 50 minutes. And he therefore cannot bowl for 50 minutes. It's the same amount of time off he has to wait before bowling on. So it's Edmonds again to bowl to Ravi Shastri. Oh, perfectly placed, lovely footwork, sweet shot.
Again, down the wicket, uses feet. Really beautiful cricket there by Shastri. Beautiful cricket. A little bit of width there from Phil Edmonds, too much width, but what a perfect execution of the cover drive. Marvellous. 2 or 3 strides there, beautiful, right into the shot and head down. Good follow through, beautiful stroke.
And that's the 100 up for India. Loss of 4 wickets. There's another beautifully placed shot by Azharuddin. And you can feel the release of tension among India's supporters. So it's Edmonds again to Shastri.
Well, now, which one are they going to say is out? We'll have a little chat about it. Mohammad Azharuddin is the one who's going to have to go, and the 5th wicket has gone down. Not many runs to play with, just 34. And a big string of batsmen still to come, there's no question about that, including Kapil Dev, the skipper.
As this ball goes down to the leg side, beautifully turned stroke. There's John Emburey with the bad back, not perhaps stretching out as best he might. They've taken 2. Now, can he throw with this bad back? Well, he's got a very, very good arm, of course, John, and it's whistled in. Azharuddin wouldn't have made the run anyway, probably, but Shastri sent him back, and they're both at the same end.
It's going to be Edmonds to Kapil Dev. It's a magnificent shot. Just a bad ball. And the angle we're on seemed to me to be a good length, well-pitched leg, well, one that went straight on even. He got it right in the meat of the bat. He's done it again, and Gower has no chance of cutting that off. 2 beautiful strokes from Kapil Dev.
Well, the captain doesn't seem to have too many nerves here.
Beautifully swept. No one's going to get that other than the crowd.
Well, you can't keep this man quiet with the slow bowlers on. Beautiful sweep stroke just behind square, and yet another 4 for Kapil Dev.
What a way to finish. A magnificent 6 from Kapil Dev. It's his first Test match victory as captain. The first time India have beaten England at Lord's. And it's a great win. Congratulations from Gower and from the other England players. And 18 from that over from Phil Edmonds. Kapil Dev taking all of them. Ravi Shastri, vice-captain, and Kapil Dev, captain. A moment they'll never forget, walking off at Lord's, having shared the winning partnership, 136 for 5 at the close of the innings. 20 to Shastri and 23 to Kapil Dev. And there is Kapil Dev. The Indian captain must be a very happy man at this moment.
Well, I suppose if you're going to go 21 Test matches before you win one, he can't be any happier than coming to Lord's to do it for his first victory. He'll be a very happy man indeed.
Looks as though he's been doing that all his life.
When the 2 captains have assembled on the middle balcony. And to make the adjudication for the man of the match, please welcome that former captain of England and Sussex, the fine player, Mr. Ted Dexter.
For India, there was great batting from Vengsarkar, 126 not out and 33. There was another amazing and memorable performance. There was a bowler who bowled unluckily for 1 wicket and 67 runs in the first innings. In the second, the crucial breakthrough, 4 wickets for 52. My man of the match is the Indian captain, Kapil Dev.
Kapil, it's been a long, long time coming for you as a winning Test captain. What a place to do it.
I enjoyed. I think it's quite a long time. Over 2 years I waited for this.
What would you like to say now to all your supporters, not just here, but back home in India?
This cricket is a game. You can't win all the time and you can't lose all the time.
Have the selectors said anything to you about your continuing captaincy?
Simple answer so far is no.
And what inference do you draw from that?
I'm guessing the same way as you are.
Do you expect to remain as captain?
Peter, we're all guessing.
We're all guessing.
I mean, as I say, it's up to them to make the decision.
They haven't spoken to you at all?
They haven't mentioned a word, so I mean, it is up to them. Where they are at this precise moment, I hate to think, but no, we'll find out in due course, no doubt.
In fact, in due course turned out to be a matter of something like 60 seconds, because David Gower was informed he was no longer captain of England, that the job had been passed on to Mike Gatting, and that he would be skipper for the next 2 Test matches, the one at Headingley against India and against the same country at Edgbaston. The rumours have been flying for quite some time that Gower was on thin ice. It was shown to be so today after India won their first ever Test match at
Mike Gatting as a skipper, what is your attitude?
Well, again, it's very difficult to describe on TV, but I think people that actually watch the Middlesex games and that will know how I do things, and I shall just try and do the things I'm used to doing. I shan't be trying to do anything different to what I'm usually doing for Middlesex, and I just hope the players respond well. I'm sure they will, and let's hope we can get the England team back onto the level it should be.
Well, those are certainly admirable sentiments from Mike Gatting, and every captain should feel that way when he takes over the job. I've no doubt David Gower felt like that when he became captain of England quite some time ago. Mike Gatting has a big job. He's going to be skipper against India at Headingley and then Edgbaston, and the Indian side are right on top at the moment. They played magnificently in this Test match, as is shown by the final scorecard here, 136 for 5. They had a couple of hiccups in the end. Kapil Dev 23 not out and Ravi Shastri 20 not out, his vice-captain, played wonderfully well, and Dilley 2 for 28, Pringle a wicket and Edmonds 1, did all they could to stop them, but it was to no avail. A tremendous win for India, their first ever at Lord's, and the first one